back to another episode of the kitchen. This week we are making a cream mushroom chicken and pasta. It's something I used to make a while back. Haven't made in a while, so we'll go ahead and get everything out and ready, and we'll be back in just a moment. So while I'm waiting for the pan to warm up, I do have some water on the side here coming up to a boil. We'll throw in some shell pasta to serve with this, and also chopped up a whole white onion, and I have about 8 ounces of white mushroom underneath there sliced. So here we'll just wait for this to warm up, and we should be back in a moment. Okay, so we start off with a pound and a quarter of chicken thighs. And if you're not familiar with sauté dust, it's 1 part salt to 1 part onion powder to 1 part garlic powder to a 1/2 part pepper and a 1/2 part smoked paprika. You mix it well, and then you pinch it on to what you want to season with. Forgive me for the noise in the background. My daughter got a new kitten, and it's playing with about anything and everything it finds on the floor. So if you hear some thumping and stuff, I got a playful kitten in the kitchen here. So you just dust a couple of pinches on each. Go ahead and pat it in. I'm going to do that. And then once you get done with this part, you flip them over and dust the other side. Pat that in. Then we'll flip these. Yeah, definitely use boneless chicken thighs. Makes it a lot easier. So let me rinse my hand off. And we'll go ahead and dust the other sides. You're just going to let them sit there and dry marinate for a few moments while you prep up the rest of the food. This particular mixture of sauté dust is about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of each, where the halves are about 1/2 to 3/4 of a tablespoon. So we'll just pat that in. Make sure it gets into the meat. Set this off to the side and rinse off again. And then what I'll do is go ahead and prep the onions and the mushrooms that go along with this, and we'll be right back. Alright, so I'm starting off with my deep dish cast iron pan. I have a little bit of oil down at the bottom, about 2 tablespoons. We'll go ahead and place these in, cut side down. Here's a way to start the chicken off, cut side down. They will shrink after a bit, so don't worry about taking up room. But they also will stick. So you want to go ahead and cook them for about 8 minutes each side. After a moment, they should unstick. There we go. Once they are done and ready to flip, they should unstick. So we'll be back in a moment once the chicken cooks. Alright, so the chicken is done. We'll go ahead and plate it up for right now. Or just to set it off the side, because we will be returning it to the pan a little bit later. You don't have to get all the chunks, but just get the major pieces out of the way. We'll be using the smaller pieces when we're making the sauce here. Set it off the side. Get some of these pieces here. Let me go ahead and add my pasta. Follow your directions on the box for the pasta. I have nothing different for right now. Just cook it al dente. So, Alexa, set timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
Alright, so I've dropped the temperature on this to about low. I'm going to go ahead and take the onions and mushrooms, dump them in. We'll go ahead and render those down. Cook until the onions are translucent. Break these apart. Don't worry about the chunks at the bottom for right now. We will deglaze with chicken stock here in a little bit. Throw a few pinches of your sauté dust in there. There we go. Alright, let me cook these for a while until they start rendering down a little bit. And like I said, you'll add chicken stock to it. About a 1/4 cup, not much at all. So we'll be back in just a bit. Alright, the onions are about translucent. The mushrooms are kind of cooked at the moment. I know I said a 1/4 cup early, but if you have mushrooms, you might want to add more because the mushrooms tend to soak up a lot of stuff. There we go. We'll put about that much in. And give it a good scrape. It should break up everything on the bottom. And you're going to want to wait and let this render down the half. That shouldn't really take too long to do so. But once it gets back up to a boil, it'll start to render down. So we'll be back in a moment when it starts. Alright, now this is starting to boil. It should render down here in a minute. The pasta just got done. I have it in the sink draining right now. Do not rinse your pasta. That washes the starch off the pasta and kind of ruins it a little bit. Your best bet is just let it sit there and drain. Don't do anything else and add it straight to your pan when you're ready for it. So this is kind of rendered down a little bit. What I'll do is add a can of condensed cream of mushroom soup. Go ahead and scrape it all out of there. We're not going to add any more fluid to it. We'll just stay as it is here. And go ahead and get that a good stir. Just to mix it in with what's there. And I will go ahead and drop this again to low. Right now is when you want to go ahead and add your pasta. Mix that in. We'll let that simmer for about 5 or 10 minutes. Let the pasta soak in. Then we'll let me go ahead and add the chicken back to it real quick. You want to take the chicken and kind of bury it down in there. There should be enough to feed 3 people. Decided I wanted to fall there, but at least I caught it before it did. So we'll go ahead and bury that down in the pasta there, and then we'll let it simmer for about Like I said, 10 to 15 minutes. You just kind of want to thicken up just a hair. But also it lets the chicken marinate in the actual cream of mushroom. So that should be it. Once it gets done simmering, I'll go ahead and plate it up, take some pictures, and go ahead and enjoy it. So if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave me that thumbs up. Help me get my videos out there. And until next time, have a great week and a great weekend. And bon appetit.